going on to this week, our Blues and Brews show. You know, I keep looking at these, thinking it's getting closer and closer to our turn to take the stage.
Yep.
We know 2 blues songs right now.
So far.
No worries about that?
Oh, no.
Do you know anything about Allie, the person
Oh,
coming?
yes. Allie Venable tomorrow night. Or not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah. What's
Holy
going
cow.
on with her?
She's amazing. I saw her when she was just like a teenager in Dallas. And she's been a smoking guitar player since I think she was born.
Oh, yeah,
She's one of those, just grew up with a guitar in her hand. And she's really, really an amazing guitarist. And has become quite a good singer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's, I don't know if she's running a 4-piece or a 3-piece band, but she used to always just run 3-piece, guitar, bass, and drums, and
I think that's what
she
it is.
sang.
Yeah.
And man, she is really, really good.
You say she's become a good singer.
Yeah, when she was younger, she was a little girl.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Imagine a little girl singing blues.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was like the Smurfs singing George Jones, you know.
Well, that's what they say about me is he's becoming a good singer at 72.
Now she's in her 20s, and she's just really, really an amazing guitar player.
Well, we look forward to that. That's tomorrow night, and as we were told, all of the Wednesday nights are BOGO nights. So buy one get one free. That means tickets, and that means wine for you.
And beer.
And beer for you alcoholics.
Because it is Blues and Brews.
Alcoholic, there's a difference, between an alcoholic and a drunk. Do you know that?
Really?
Yes, there is. Because alcoholics have to go to those meetings. Us drunks, we don't have to go. All right. That's an old
Thursday
joke.
night.
It's an old joke. Thursday night, we're back to our Golden Star contest.
Not just back,
but
it's our
the
semifinals.
And I got to tell you something dangerous. All the people in here are good. I'm not knocking anybody, but that dude last weekend, who was he?
Gerald.
I don't see him on there.
He's on the next page. Gerald Davidson.
Oh, he's on the next page?
Yeah, at the very top.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me tell you something.
He was amazing.
That dude's what, 80-something?
86, I think is what he said.
86 years old. He drove all the way here from Canada. So it's like 22-some hours of Canada. Unlike the Canadian hockey team, he likes us here in America. They, not so much. Anyway, and I saw him, and you never need to ever judge a book by its cover, because I saw him over there, and he's 86, and he's, normal 86-looking guy. Had on a nice jacket, nice shoes.
Cool old Gibson guitar.
Yeah, great old Gibson guitar that he needs to give me. And that dude started singing, and I went, we're not supposed to do much, because it's a contest. We're supposed to just sit there and play, and we don't even sing harmony for any of those people, which is bad. But the reason we don't, is because some songs we know and we can make it sound like the record, and other songs we don't. And so if we sang on one and didn't sing on the other. So we don't sing, if anybody's ever interested in that, in the contest. That old boy got up. He didn't need no background singers, man. That old boy's going to be tough to beat. And he sings that old country, but some of those songs he sang were hard, big notes, and man, he was just awesome. All right.
So it's going to be, he's good. He's the one to watch.
So for you people with the gambling addiction, Larry, you can put your money on Gerald. Did you like him, Eddie? You don't like country music, though. You don't really like anything.
No. Oh, yeah. I liked what's coming up tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Eddie be all over that.
Oh, Lord. No, that as a disc jockey, I thought a couple of them song choices weren't right, but he nailed it. Some of that stuff was before my time.
Well, they were classic songs.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the first song he sang was a song, we're doing a classic country night here in a couple weeks, and My Shoes Keep Walking Back to You. It's one of the songs we put on our list.
1935.
Yeah, well, they're old songs, but it doesn't, just because they were before your time.
Yeah.
Which isn't your time.
He did do them very well.
All right, then let's move on. So that's the semifinals this Friday night.
I was kind of wondering how they were going to do that with the semifinals, with all the semifinalists.
Or that's what I meant Thursday. But
yeah.
how are they going to do that? So they put all the semifinal people in, and
it's
then
the top three going to go on.
Oh, the top
to the
three
following
going?
week to the finals.
Okay.
Ah, dangerous! You're so much smarter than you look.
Well,
That's
it's because
awesome.
it's written down right here.
Oh,
He's had more coffee.
in big letters with yellow print. That's why I didn't see it. Yeah, man. So then next week we'll only have 3 singers, right?
Yes,
For the finals.
for the finals, and I would imagine they're going to have to do like 4 songs apiece.
Yeah. That'll be awesome. I threw out a song. So how that works, y'all, in case anybody wants to know, is they send me the songs on Sunday. So the only day I have off is sometimes Monday.
Facebook question says, what do you think the audience should be looking for while voting? Well, because the audience picks the winners.
And aren't they told some guidelines?
Yeah, the guidelines basically are stage presence, vocal quality, basic, star quality, basically.
Yeah,
is
what
you're
they
looking
have,
for.
like I think that they should judge. They don't say this, but they should judge them on their boots.
Yeah.
I don't want people out here.
Or the
some
good
people
hair.
Good hair. That's what I've gone most of my life. Never have I been voted the guy with the best hair. Maybe the most for a guy my age, but not the best. But yeah, that's what they do for the Facebook question. And we'll take any of your questions on Facebook. If you have questions here in the audience with us today, raise your hand. That's what Mike does. He'll come by with a microphone and shove it in your face, and you'll be famous overnight. Anyway, that's what they do. They look for that. So I lost where I was going with that. Boy, I know right where Neil McCoy comes from when he gets that. Just all of a sudden you go blank. But that's tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, Thursday night.
And then I hear
show.
the band coming in Friday night's going to be a real nightmare. They're really hard to work with.
They are? Oh, yeah, Friday night. Friday night will be a Friday Night Live, everybody. And, I can't believe this. It's my mom. Hold on a second. Yeah. Hey, listen, I told you to never call me again. It's not my mom. I don't know who it is. It's not one of those numbers with the 1 in front of it, so you know it's going to be some guy that doesn't speak English. He'd go, "Is Robert there?" And they'll try to sell you some kind of insurance or something. Friday Night Live is our first Friday Night Live, only Friday Night Live in February. It's sold out in February and in March, all of our Friday Night Lives. I don't know, I'm not complaining, but I don't know why these people keep coming back and seeing us. I wouldn't. But
I see us all the time.
Yeah, we're tired of each other. It's awesome. It'll be sold out, but if you're interested in Friday Night Live, look down the register there a little bit, and
you'll be able to find that on the official Orange Blossom Opry app.
Which you can
That's
find
available
where, Dangerous?
At all your favorite app locations, your Google Play Store, I guess it's called Apple Music now. I kept calling it iTunes, and Charlene got mad at me and said, "That's not iTunes. They don't call it iTunes no more. It's Apple Music."
Yeah,
you can get the official Orange Blossom Opry app there. It's a free app. You can buy your tickets. You could see upcoming shows. You could see replays of this broadcast. And it also has links to all of our other social medias, the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube channel, Spotify. We have a Spotify channel, which is kind of cool.
Do you know what I found out about
Mike,
apps?
I think we have a question back here.
Yeah, we got a question over. You know what I found out about apps, Dangerous?
What's that?
I found out that they're not all free because my bank cut off my credit card. And that's not a cool thing. I never carry cash. Everywhere I go, I carry this little card. It's a debit card. And I just use all that because I have a record of everything I've spent. It also, which is really weird, at the end of the month kicks up on my phone. It tells me how much money I spend at the end of the month, which is very depressing sometimes. Depends on how many guitars I bought. How could I spend 10 grand in 1 month? But anyway, but I put this app on for the weather Doppler radar. And because I like to see, we ride motorcycle a lot, and you can pop it up and it shows you where all the clouds are and everything. Well, it was like $4 or $5 a week. I didn't know that. And so when it kicked back in on my credit card, it kicked up as fraud. And so a whole day I'm going trying to figure out what's the matter. First, my phone my credit card doesn't work. So but our app is absolutely free. So, and you can spend $10,000 a month on our app if you like. Was there a question somewhere I missed, or were you just?
No, she was waving to Roger.
Oh, just a question over there, way in the corner, Mike. We'll wait till you get over there. Now you have to tell us your name and where you're from. And here we go. Good morning.
Good morning. My name's Lair, and this question is for Dave. Usually, Bobby talks about his mom up in Michigan, but I've been curious about your family, Dave. You talk about your brother, about playing guitar with him.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your entire family?
Sure. Well, I'm the third of 4 children. My folks, both my mom and dad, and my grandma all live in Las Cruces, New Mexico. My grandmother is in assisted living, but she just turned 97 a little over a week ago. And then my mom and dad, thank you. Mom and dad have been married, I think, 61 years now.
Wow.
And
you're what, 63?
No, that's my brother. Oh. I have 2 older brothers. They both play. They're both musicians, or were musicians when they were younger, and they both play guitar. And that's where I learned, was watching them. And then I have a younger sister that lives in Arizona, and my sister is the proud mother of 6 daughters. Wow. And she has 3 grandchildren. Awesome. My eldest brother has 2 grandchildren. Or 3 grandchildren, I'm sorry, 2 girls and a boy. And then my eldest brother is, his youngest daughter is getting married in September, so he's selling a bunch of gear.
Yeah, you said he was selling stuff.
Bunch of amps and guitars, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, I don't have a big family, so I just talk about my mom. I have 2 sisters, older and younger sister, and that's why I talk about my mom. But before we move on to this question here, when you said your grandma was 97, everybody applauds,
Yes.
Hey, man, don't applaud me when I'm 97. Just shoot me in the head. Because, man, oh, good, he's 97. Yeah, I'm 97. So I have a question on Facebook that said, how did Nathan get to the Opry? How long has he been working here? And you want me to answer for you, Nathan? I can tell the story. You have a microphone.
You called me up on just before Thanksgiving 6 years ago. Said, hey.
And ruined your life.
Our sound man quit down here. Is there any way you could help us out? So Caroline had gone to Arizona for Thanksgiving because I had studio work. I got caught up on my studio work and said, yeah, sure. So that just turned into an every other week, which became me taking the job.
Yeah.
So I just passed my 5-year mark here.
Wow, so Nathan's been here 5 years, everybody.
Love every minute of it.
And let me tell you something. I don't know if the bosses are here and they're listening, but I'm not saying it for them. I'm saying it for you. So far this year, hi, Roger, buddy. Well, it's good that you can hear this too. I've had at least 3 acts this year, and what are we in? Only into February. Say, I don't know what you're paying your sound man. Larry Gatlin said we need to double it. 2 of the other guys said we need to give him a raise because he does an awesome job.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll receive that.
Yeah. and the funny thing about Nathan is and I don't want to get too off in the weeds about this story, but Nathan had a studio in Nashville. And for years, songwriters, which Nashville's flooded with them. Everybody's a songwriter, real songwriters. And so they write their songs, and then they have to figure a way to demo them. So they go to these studios, these demo studios, and they demo the songs. Then they take their songs and either play it for the record label or play it for whoever, but they make these things called demos, and most of them are pretty good sounding. So, and then what Nathan had was he had a couple of people that were a couple of big-time writers that would just, because his studio was awesome, that would just use his studio. So you get what's like a client list. Well, and Nathan was, that's how I met him. I was using this other studio, and I couldn't get in. It was busy, and a buddy of mine said, hey, I got a buddy named Nathan Smith. You need to go try his studio, which you don't like to do because you get comfortable. You just want to stay where you are, pretty much with anything. But so I went over there, and I was blown away. And I used Nathan for 4 or 5 years, I suppose. I used him. He was my guy. I wouldn't record anywhere else except there. So, but then what happened was the computer started coming in, and these guys now are making their own demos on computers. It's amazing. There's a thing called GarageBand, and you don't have to know anything about anything, and you can put a song together, which I feel is what's wrong with country music today.
Well, using computers, isn't that how the guy got on the Super Bowl?
Yeah. There was that amazes me. That guy in the Super Bowl won all these music awards, and there's not one thing on any of his records that's musical. It's all computer, not even real drums. I mean, so they have fake everything. So what that does is the songwriter, say me, instead of going to Nathan's and hiring a bunch of musicians and paying the studio bill, these guys are doing it in his basement. So as that started to decline, that's the only reason I think I got Nathan here. Because if that had been clunking along, that dude was busy all the time working, and I don't think he would have came.
You came over. Oliverius brought you over.
Yeah.
Around 2006.
Yeah.
And so, at the end of the session, I said, "Are you happy?" And he goes, "You said what's not to like?" You go, "Twice the quality for half the price."
Yeah, that's what Nathan was. He was awesome.
So you always came back, even to this day.
Yeah, so, that's it. So when I called him to sub, it was great. And then I knew work was falling off up there. And not to blow his head up any bigger, but Nathan is just like everybody else in this band. They're at the top of their game in that position. If you come in, the reason this band is so awesome is because they've played with the big boys. They've been out there. They're not... they're the real deal, trust me, and so is he, and it shows. I went home, Nathan and I listened to last night. I don't sleep very well, and then I was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was up and I listened to the opening for Neil McCoy, and man, that damn thing, I said, it sounds like a record, and that's what you folks hear out there. So a lot of the reason that we sound the way we do is I'll just divide it 50-50. 50% is the band doing what they do, and 50% is Nathan. Because if somebody else was out there, we probably wouldn't sound like that to everybody. So
yeah, but with that 50%, it takes 6 of us to do what one of him does.
That's right. Well, yeah, he plays all the instruments at the same time. I don't think anybody. That might be something interesting to do sometime, Nathan, is if we could have you up here on the show sometime and talk about exactly what you do. Because I don't think anybody, probably they blow it off. Us, he's just sound guy, and that's not true at all. Speaking of sound guys, Nathan, when I went back to play with Sawyer Brown this weekend, I played at the Ryman, and I was out with Kenny Rogers for years. And Kenny Rogers' sound man's name is Keith Bugas. He worked for Kenny Rogers for 47 years. And he's a dude like Nathan. He's a sound engineer guru. And in the early days of Sawyer Brown, we couldn't afford the sound man. So when we weren't working with Kenny, we'd take Keith with us. And he mixed when we did Arsenio Hall show, we did Letterman, when we did Austin City Limits, all these shows, you need a sound man there too. You don't realize that, but when you're watching the show on TV that has a musical band, there's some guy back there running sound. So we took Keith. Anyway, I hadn't seen him since the last time I played with Kenny Rogers, which I can't remember when that was, but he was there. He works at the Ryman part-time. So I got to see one of my old Kenny Rogers buddies this weekend as well. All right, let's move. Oh, here's something cool. The Buckinghams are coming, and I finally talked to the girl yesterday, Susan, and we were trying to get some stuff working, and so when we hung up, I said, well, I'll see you whatever Sunday. She said, no, I'm not coming. And to her I said, oh, man, that's kind of a drag. So,
all right, hey, one more thing about Nathan.
please.
Really, 5 years doesn't seem, or going in close to 6 doesn't seem like a long time. But we're talking every rehearsal, every time the lights come on in here, Nathan has to be here behind the scenes. They don't really realize, I think, that the hours involved in that. In the
well,
work.
That's the thing is he does everything for us. But I'd say, what do you think you're running, Nathan? 70%, 70% the other acts, because some of the acts bring their own sound men. But I'd say he's running 70, 60, 70%.
I bet it's higher than that. I bet it's.
Is it higher than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be 80%.
He muted himself.
I think I'm up to 85% now. I started at 70, but
he's an awesome sound man. He shut it
more.
Even when the other sound guys are here, though, I've seen them many times going to him when they're running sound and asking him questions.
Well, because
absolutely,
he runs the room here. Yeah, so he's usually first guy to get here and last guy to get. I guess we're making the boss feel guilty enough now. Maybe.
Yeah.
So, Roger, at least buy the damn guy
I don't know
lunch.
if it's working.
Well, I appreciate the job greatly, and I appreciate this team that I have to work with because they are world class.
Yeah.
Orange Blossom Opry Band. How many musicians have I recorded? Thousands.
Millions.
The Orange Blossom Opry Band is the best band.
Yeah. He's had everybody in his house called Nathan has heard play. That's why you're not going to impress him much, because he had and in recording those demos, I'll get off this in a minute, but in recording those demos, the songwriters try to get the best musicians they can to play on their demo to make it sound great. So Nathan's worked with, every top musician, guitar player, drummer in Nashville, because they'd all come to his studio to, it's just if you could afford them.
Hey, I got just a little rebuttal, but Roger up here in the booth.
Oh, hey, Roger.
Who gave him?
Just the boss,
Who
everybody.
gave him a microphone?
I just want to say, since Larry Gatlin started it, we asked him to
Yeah.
help pay for Nathan's.
There you go.
Let's send
He-
Gatlin.
Gatlin can give us a grant.
Hey, Larry, how about a little money? He's got a lot of money. Did you hear? So this happened this weekend that was funny. So I played with Sawyer Brown, and it was, I don't even want to get into that. I couldn't never explain the emotions and all that stuff in a million years. But anyway, so when I got ready to leave, they said, I said, I got to get back because I'm playing with Neil McCoy tomorrow. They said, Neil McCoy? I said, yeah. And he said, well, you need to tell Neil McCoy this. So they never told me why. Said, you just go out and say this. So I did. So I went out on the first show, and I said, I'm just the messenger. And I said, now, ladies and gentlemen, over there in the corner, Neil McCoy has T-shirts, hats, and all that stuff for sale. But we also, at the Orange Blossom Opry, have T-shirts, hats, and stuff for sale as well. And his ass don't need the money, so buy our stuff. So I told everybody that. I don't know why I did that, because I really wouldn't be mean to Neil. So after the break at the show, I said, I just did what I told. I said, why did I do that? And he said, well, there's a story you don't know. And he said, I was doing a show with Sawyer Brown. And he said, I was on first. He said, I went out first, and he said, that's exactly what he said. See all those T-shirts over there the Sawyer Brown guys have and everything? Well, they don't need the money. I've got family. I've got 2 daughters in college and this and that and this and that. So it was kind of payback third-handed. Funny guy he is. How we doing on this, y'all? Eddie, the Jimmy Sturr show on February 8th. I'm a little worried about the polka show because I want folks to be here. I want him to have people here. He had the Beer Barrel Polka, which is the damn biggest polka ever written. It's like the Holy Grail. It's like Lee Greenwood singing God Bless the USA in the polka world.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, people got to get off their butt and come out and see him. By the way, what are we going to play when we open for him? I don't know any polkas. The polkas I know are his polkas. There's an L in there, folks. Polka. It's the polka. Y'all like polkas? Show of hands that do. There? Yeah, you buy tickets? Show of hands down. No, not a damn. Oh, some people did. Larry, you did?
Yeah.
Larry's a polka guy. Larry's a dancing fool. In case, for those of you who don't know, Larry has been carrying my guitar gear since I was in 12th grade. Is that a fair assessment? Maybe before that? Come to hear me play as I was a kid. Carried my gear in and out of those beer joints when I was playing the beer joints. Came to Sawyer Brown concerts, carried gear there. Came to Confederate Railroad concerts, carried gear. And now here he still is. So Larry's been hanging around for a long time. But Larry's a great dancer, y'all. That's everybody. When I got married to Gurley, I said, get up with Larry. He'll teach you how to dance because he's a great dancer. All right, let's see. The old classic country's coming after Jimmy Sturr, but sold out.
But they can still get their song requests in.
Yeah, I got just about all the songs picked. We have this thing, y'all, that's called, for you folks on Facebook, it's called Song Requests, plural, at obopry.com. And you can write in the songs that you'd like to hear.
And not just for the classic country. They can do it anytime.
Well, yeah, you can do it anytime. We can do it. But classic country, I saw people writing in saying, how about The Dance by Garth Brooks? We're not playing no Garth Brooks stuff. We're playing Wynn Stewart stuff. We're playing Charlie Walker stuff.
Just a heads up for people looking down the road for when we start doing the classic country shows later. Keith and I were talking that we'd like to do a 70s outlaw night.
Yeah, we could do that. We could play around with that.
Just do all the outlaws, Tom Paul and Waylon and Willie and
a lot of it. A lot of that stuff.
So
Billy Joe Shaver, Billy.
Oh, absolutely.
Billie Jean. No, Billie Jean was who was she? Oh, she was
tennis player.
She was at Dyke. Oh, she was at
Side Cutters.
Yeah. That wasn't what she was. She was a tennis player. I don't know how that popped out of my mouth, but anyway. Hey,
Jesse Coulter.
Trump says now there's only 2 What's the word I'm looking for?
Genders.
Genders, yeah, 2 genders, male and female. So the rest of you people, get on the boat, okay?
That coincides with the number of bathrooms we have.
Yeah, that's right, because we only have men and women's bathrooms here. So if you show up somewhere else, you're going to go out in the
I
weeds.
think Facebook just cut us off.
No, Zuckerberg's coming around now. He's starting to see the light. I noticed after this last election, he's kind of coming around. All right, let's not get into that. Eric Johansson, you know stuff about him, right?
Yeah,
He's coming.
man. New Orleans guitar player. This guy is a monster.
Yep.
He's I like to describe his style as like aggressive blues.
Aggressive.
Because he can flat get it, man. He can pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the DeSoto Tigers Testimony, they're coming on the 19th, and that's the first place we open
That's
for. And those
us.
guys are good, though. I saw the video of those guys, and we got to pick up our game,
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Well, we have 2 songs, so we need about one more for
Yeah, yeah, just keep playing solos back. Take it again, Dangerous. Let her have it. That's pretty funny. I talked to this dude yesterday, Wayne Brewer. He's going to be here doing the George and Tammy show. That's on Saturday, March 1st. And then in the afternoon, if these shows haven't sold out, they will. Gene Watson will be here on Sunday or Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning. And no, what is it? Is it Friday? Where in the heck? Oh, no, it's on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Well, he's doing 2 shows, but he's doing one day and one the next day.
He's doing a Saturday night show and then a Sunday matinee.
Right, that's what it is. Okay. And those shows always usually...
And that is a guy that we were talking about how good that singer was last week for the contest. Gene Watson is a guy, all his stuff he still does in the original keys, still hits every single note. He sounds every bit as good as he did when those records were new.
Like perfect pitch. Just
Man, the guy is amazing.
gets up there and kills it.
Boss has a question.
Who does?
The boss.
Oh, the boss has a question. Yes, sir.
So when you guys do your round robins on everybody taking solos,
Yeah.
everybody, I see 5 different people doing solos. What I don't see is the drummer getting a solo.
Yeah, no.
He's soloing through the whole song. Are you kidding me?
Well, we could talk about that for a second. And I know Nathan's an incredible drummer, by the way. I've never been a drum solo guy, but people love it. Nathan, our drummer that was here for years, wouldn't play Wipeout, and I don't want to play Wipeout any more than there's a couple of other songs I don't care if we ever play again.
Neon Moon.
Sweet Home Alabama. But you know what? You got to do what the crowd wants. So the crowd loves to hear that stuff. So, maybe we should give Randy a solo.
Yeah.
You think
Throw him a
should?
bone, yeah.
All right, next time, boss. Next time around, Randy gets a solo.
Okay, doesn't have to do it every time.
No,
It'd
we'll
be nice
toss
to,
him in there.
Throw him in there.
Yeah, throw him in there. Well,
Throw him in the deep end.
Nathan did a drum solo, and people went crazy in here. I don't get it, but he did. They did. I don't even like the guy. Hey, you going on a motorcycle trip this year, you think? You are? We're fixing to go on a motorcycle trip again. Every year we go on a motorcycle trip. I went to the doctor yesterday. I have terrible hands. I have arthritis and trigger finger, and everything goes wrong with my hands. And usually I get these shots in my hands, and then I'm Superman for about 2 months, and then I'm, crippled until I can get my shots again. And I'm trying to, where's Mike? I'm trying to pan it out so I get shots before we go, because if I got to ride a motorcycle. And he said, well, you ain't going to be riding no motorcycle across the country then. And I said, well, I'll be in here getting those shots before we go. We're headed out last week on our time off. We're going June and July for a couple weeks. All right, Gene Watson. Yeah, you better get some tickets for Gene Watson, y'all, if you're interested in coming to see him. I think Butch is coming down to see him. Did you got tickets, Larry? Butch is coming down. Well, I guess it'd be up from here because he lives in West Palm. Is that south? That's south of here, right? I don't know. Oh, well, here's a question. Heather, Eddie loves Neon Moon. Eddie, you need to start liking Neon Moon from a girl named Nina. Yeah, Eddie, what's your beef with Neon Moon?
Oh, it's just, I've
It's
heard
like
it too many
Freebird.
times as a disc jockey when you had the line dancing hit.
Yeah.
It's like going to the Villages and listening to Mustang Sally. That's exactly what it is.
I get that.
Everybody
Enough
in
said.
every band, every place has to play those songs because they know they're going to line dance to it. And that's
Well,
what Neon Moon is.
But people like it, don't you?
Brooks
Y'all
and Dunn
not-
has 300 songs to choose from, and we play Neon Moon.
Well, what about Achy Breaky Heart? I was over
Yeah, but
that
at
in
least
about
that
the
doesn't get
second
played.
week.
How many times you play Achy Breaky compared to now?
I never play it. We never play it. But I bet the
people
people go crazy if we did it. And maybe you should
yeah.
come out and sing it in those spandex pants.
No. I bet you got. Don't even tempt me with that, because you know I will.
with the mirror ball helmet.
With the mirror ball
Yeah,
helmet.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah. For some
We'll
reason,
find a show for that. Hey, Friday Night Live's coming up.
yeah, you'll see a thing in the paper that the Orange Blossom Opry was shut down this weekend by the fashion police due to, yeah. All right. Well, I like Neon Moon. I haven't played that to death, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Hey, real quick, coming up in March on the 6th
yeah,
is when we start our Rising Star contest.
yeah.
And
So what was this last one? Sinking Star?
no, it's the Golden Star.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
In the Rising Star is going to be singers that are 30 years and younger.
oh boy.
So, and there are a few spots available. So, if anybody is interested in participating in this, there's no entrance fee, and you can win a bunch of money and do some cool shows. You can write Neil at obopry.com. Neil Bogus is in charge of all that, but make sure to let everybody know that might be interested, because we do have a few spots available.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'll be fun. Well, not that I don't really have a preference on which one. They're all good, like I said.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it wrong, Dave. What happened?
Contest at OB
It's
Opry.
contest.
Oh,
at
contest
OBO
at OBO.
Carolina.
Yes.
I thought Neil had one too.
He does, but the contest stuff is all through
okay,
contest at
sorry.
OBOPRY.com.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Contest at obopry.com.
But
Send your singers to that.
why don't I just give them your phone number here, and then they can say,
Yeah.
call
Well,
Dave.
No, give him
Dave's
Neil's
not
phone
here.
number.
Oh yeah, Neil's not here. Speaking of that, Nathan, we still need to get you a. Hey, Nathan, answer me a question. We have what kind of symbols do we have? There's someone watching the.
Sabian.
Huh?
Sabian.
Fabian, wasn't he a singer?
Sabian.
Oh, Saban,
Yes.
like Nick Saban?
SABIAN.
Oh,
Which
Sabian.
is a sub company of Zildjian. It's one of the Zildjian brothers.
Okay,
We do have a Zildjian ride symbol, and the rest of them are Sabians.
All right. So the guy watching, it's Zildjian and Sabian.
Sabian.
None of that stuff makes any
Is
sense.
that the guy from
They're flat ones.
Well, the guy. What happens is, there's so many people that come here, and then I call someone, and they give them my phone number. So my phone number is no longer sacred at all. And then a guy will text me, like one guy in the band, and he'll text me, and hey, Bobby, what about blah blah blah? I don't know who it is. I don't know. I've already talked to 4 bands this weekend, so he doesn't say, hey, this is so and so with so and so. He just goes, hey, what kind of symbols do you have? So I don't know. You guys had a big famous drummer here. How'd that go?
Oh yeah, Carmine Apiece. Yeah.
Yeah, Carmine Apiece was his name.
Well, his name is Carmine Appice, but when he was touring with Rod Stewart, Rod Stewart started introducing him as Apiece, and it kind of stuck.
Yeah, there's a joke behind that, but I'm going to let it go.
Oh yeah, I bought his book. He said, "Read his book. There's stories there."
Yeah, he was
of that,
amazing.
You know what
his
I had
brother-
happen? Speaking of mispronunciation, you know what I had happen this weekend? And I second thought myself, because I'm not the smartest, guy in the box here. But we went to Nashville, and my wife has a daughter that lives there, so we went over to see her for a little bit. And they're talking, and I just kind of sat there and was whatever. And she said, well, I went to Monteagle, Tennessee, and for a weekend, and blah, blah, blah. And I lived in Tennessee for 43 years. I know just about where everything is. Yeah, and I said, Monteagle? Where's I said, you mean Mount Eagle? Oh, no, Monteagle. Well, you're not going to argue with a 23-year-old girl, so, but it's pronounced Mount Eagle, not Monteagle. It's Mount Eagle. Move your what do you call that? The T is not silent because it's Mount on the end, but then it's Eagle, not Monteagle. Anyway, are you ready, Dave? All right. Enough of that. A lot of stuff going on at the Orange Blossom Opry. If you're watching on Facebook and you have some questions, fire away because we are here for exactly that. Sawyer Brown will be here June 8th. Tickets are on sale now. Extremely limited tickets are still available. Purchase yours today, it says. And that means last time they sold out really quick. We haven't been advertising them much, but it just went on sale. And the question is, will you play with Sawyer Brown when they come here? And the answer is, if they ask, I will. I do not beg. Everyone wants to hear Dave sing "Achy Breaky Heart." There's another song. Now
You
I'm
know
with
what
you
you
on
gotta
that.
do to
That
that.
song
no,
right
no,
there.
No. I know who sent this.
Oh,
Yeah.
My wife sent this
Ah!
to punish me.
Does she like you?
She actually did not.
Oh.
What?
She is not the only one that
Oh.
has
All right,
sent this.
Heather's probably involved in that.
Do you sing "Achy Breaky Heart"?
Nina Heath.
No, he
Priest-
does. He does. He sings
All
it.
right.
Nina Heath Priest says, Dave, you need to sing "Achy Breaky
Yeah,
Heart."
we'll do that one
sometime,"
instead
and
of
there's
Neon
more
Moon.
on here.
Now,
so-
though, after Achy, I will fight to never play that next song.
Yeah.
'Cause
We won't even
that's
say the words.
That's my Neon Moon right there. I'll play "Sweet Home Alabama" all night long if you want. I'll play "Mustang Sally." I'll play anything. I don't care. I'll play "Who Let the Dogs Out" before I want to play "Wagon Wheel," because that is my song that just bleh.
All right, so we
Right?
need to make a list. So no Patsy Cline.
Yeah, no pets.
Neon
Oh, we
Moon.
can't. Our boss.
What one? There's Dave's got to have one. You just don't want to.
Oh, our boss Heather, along with other people, just.
Well, it's not a country song, but if I never play Purple Rain again.
Oh, and you know what? Somebody asked me that again the other day. If you would sing,
Oh boy, you opened that up.
somebody wanted to hear you sing "Purple Rain," and there must be a story there. Have you sang it?
Well, no, I don't sing it, but I've played it so many times. It was like the signature song in this house band I played in Texas.
Yeah, somebody said that they want to hear Larry sing. That's probably not true if you've heard him sing. So, just kidding you, bud. Let's see. Well, I mean, do we need to work up "Achy Breaky Heart"?
What's there to work up?
No,
There's two
go
chords
no,
to the whole song.
No, one yes, not one. Not one yes. Okay, "Achy Breaky."
We don't have to work it up. There's only two chords in the
Yeah,
whole
I
song.
know. Na, 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 na. And we could talk to Keith because, man, Keith used to have a mullet that made what's his name?
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray Cyrus looked like a flat top because Keith Horn had almost a flat top and his hair was down to his butt. A couple times when I ran into him, he had the ultimate mullet.
The Kentucky Waterfall.
The Kentucky Waterfall. That's what that was called. So we're good with "No Achy Breaky Heart." What's your thoughts on "Wagon Wheel"? No "Wagon Wheel."
No.
Oh, one guy wants
Oh,
"Wagon
nice.
Wheel." Well, you get up and sing it then.
Hello, Allie Venable's watching the show.
Hi, Allie. How are you? Are watching? Can't wait for your show. We
Can't
can't.
wait.
Everybody's excited to death about you. Dave was
Yeah.
just talking about you and says that you're.
I want to get a picture of her with her Les Paul and my Les Paul because
Oh, yeah.
she has this pink Les Paul and I have my red Les Paul.
Yeah.
They'll look good together.
And of course, Mike, where's Mike? He works security around here sometimes on the weekend. Again, Allie's a sweet young lady, so we'll probably need to keep Eddie away.
I'm
from
gonna get her. I'm gonna ask her to sing her hit off the new record called "Kick Your."
Behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie
She needs
has.
to sing that for me.
Do you have any memorabilia stuff for her?
I've got an album. Yeah, can't
Just
wait.
one, because
Yeah.
usually he drags out stuff.
Now, were you able to get the vinyl?
Yes, I have her new record on vinyl. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
We're all excited about you, hon. Safe
Yes.
travels. I don't know where you are, but safe travels when you get here. And we'll make sure you have a great time. It's a lot of fun here at the Orange Blossom Opry.
Gonna rock.
So far this year, to my knowledge, now I wasn't here Friday and Saturday, but so far to my knowledge, our job, my job, and several other people around here is to make sure no matter who you are, when you leave this Orange Blossom Opry, that your thing is, I had a great time, they're great people, and it's wonderful. So far, we're batting 1,000.
Yes.
I've not seen one person leave that go, I ain't never coming back. Now, I can tell you somebody who's not coming back.
That's just what we do.
You show up with a big, I guess that's what we do. Right, yeah. What's the matter with those guys? Who does that? Anyway, I mean, my gosh, I wouldn't do that, but I guess some people do. Anyway, if you have any questions, let us know what's going on, because we're here. Let's see. How about a show featuring all the songs that musicians dislike? By George Trillinger.
no.
Hi, George.
Just
my gosh.
mute that.
I love George. If you're watching, pal, you know I love you. I hope
Is
you're.
that George Stronger?
Yeah, I hope that. Yeah.
He's
and
an
his name.
instigator.
Now dig this. I was here, George, for a couple of years when we were just talking about mispronunciation of words. It's Mount Eagle, not Monteagle. And George's last name is Trillinger, not Trillinger, because that's what some people call him. So I was calling that for a long time. Look, and nothing worse than pronouncing somebody's name wrong.
Well, Carmine Appice didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you probably don't. I have nicknames, so people. Anyway, that's a great idea, George. Why don't you come and be the singer for the show?
Yeah.
Well, George Trillinger. I already got the billing. George Trillinger tonight plays all the songs the musicians hate.
Yeah, you hate. We'll take a question
yeah.
of everybody in the audience what songs you hate and then play them.
Oh man,
That'll work.
We could just pick them. We
we
can
have
just pick 'em from
questions.
musicians. Yeah, go ahead. Name and where you're from, sir.
Bob from Wisconsin.
Hi, Bob.
Two things. Dave, how do you get the name Dangerous Dave? And then the other comment was, you made a comment about two sexes.
Yeah.
The answer to that?
Is?
Depends.
Yeah, there you go.
You came over that one time, as I remember that one. So thank you.
I think I dropped the name Dangerous Dave. I've been notorious over my life of picking up nicknames for people. Greg Hubbard and Sawyer Brown, Hobie, and just different things. And I've had several. Mine, for a long time I was Cowboy because I worked on this cattle farm, and so all these guys, when I was in Confederate Railroad, all called me Cowboy. So Dave, just because it's a cool name, is Dangerous. Now, if you know anything about country music, you would know that, does anybody, show of hands, know the name of Buck Owens' guitar player? What was his name? You don't. You do or you don't? You do? Anybody? Nobody. Boy, you folks don't know. Jack. His name was Don Rich, and he's the reason that I have a Telecaster, because when I was a kid, I watched Buck Owens, and, I heard that Fender, back then, this would be in the 50s or 60s, went to those guys and said if they'd play Fenders, that they would never pay for a guitar.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because they're from Bakersfield, and Fender was out there in Fullerton, so may or may not be true. But anyway, somebody started calling him Dangerous Don Rich, and so because
Don Rich rode Harleys.
Yeah, and Don Rich rode Harleys. So we all ride Harleys, and so that's how he got the nickname of Dangerous. I might have dropped that on him, and I put. We have never come up with a good name. We got nicknames for everybody, but we don't have anything for Keith. He just ends up being Keith Horn, I guess. But he rides Harleys too.
We have another question here.
Another question. Yes, sir.
Terry, just down the road.
Hi, Terry. Just down the road. You live at the county line?
Just down Sunset Harbor.
Okay.
When you and Dave are playing, you tap something on the floor, and what are you doing when you do that? And you change the guitars. Is there a difference in the guitars?
You do the tap on the floor, and I'll do the guitars. Go.
Well, the tap on the floor is we have a bunch of different buttons and pedals that do different sounds. Like, I have a button that looks like a gas pedal. That's my volume pedal. Then I have a booster, distortion, an echo, just a bunch of different things. And same for Bobby. He has a volume pedal and a booster pedal and a compressor. And
Dougie has one too. You just don't see him because sometimes I played steel for a long time. I always worked mine with my hands.
Yeah, his is behind him.
His is behind him, and it's just all different sounds and tones that are in these little boxes that you can get. They call them stomp boxes, and you just stomp on them, and you can get your guitar to sound
Now,
like.
as far as guitars go,
Yeah, now that's all those guitars have different different sounds and different things, and some it's not the rule, but some are more rock guitars, some are more country, some are different. The Fender Telecaster is kind of the go-to country guitar, if you wouldn't you think?
right? And Les Paul's kind of a rock and roll style
Les Paul's
guitar.
kind of rock. So one of the things that we do in learning songs and everything, we take it right down to. I want to play it exactly like the record. I had a guy here this weekend that has a band up in Michigan, and they play, and he said, "Man, I can't believe your band sounds like that." And it said, "It's not. I mean, yeah, everybody in this band's really, really good, but go study the record and find out what guitar sound that guy had, because the guy that has a sound solo on Neon Moon, if you will, has got a completely different guitar sound from the guy playing guitar on Hotel California. So us playing all these different songs, requires different guitars because we want not only, we don't obviously have the lead vocal, so we can't sound like him, but we can make all the music sound just exactly like the record.
All right, I've had enough requests, and I'm going to get with Kurt after the show that I think I have enough people always asking me, what are you playing? What are you using?
Yeah.
I think what we're going to start doing, and we've talked to Roger about this before, but if people would be interested, I'm going to start doing a guitar of the week.
Well, we talked about doing Telly Tuesday, and we could do it after this.
But I'd like to do a guitar of the week. That way we're not just stuck to Telecasters. I mean, we have enough Telecasters to do it, but I'd like to do just like a whole rig rundown one day and just show everybody what we're using. And then every week feature a new guitar, tell the backstory behind it. Is that something y'all want to see?
Yeah, we do that. What we could do is, there's Roger giving us a thumbs up. Let's do it right after the show.
Yeah, may as well.
So you could have a guest. You be the guy because you know. I'll tell you something about Dangerous. Here's another thing. I don't care what guitar it is. You hold up a guitar and say, "Hey, what's this?" And he knows everything. The stats, when it was made, he said, that one was stolen. He's got it down, so it'd be a great thing for him to do. We could do just a little 15-minute thing about, the guitar of the week. Stay tuned after the podcast here. We'll do the guitar of the week, and you could do some by yourself because you can just talk about it. Just move over there, and
because I think just here, I think I have 12 or 13 guitars.
Yeah, well, we have enough guitars back here to do a two-year series.
Hey, I have an idea for an invention.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, my special effects mentality. How about making a pedal that when you hit a bad note, it zaps you?
Ooh.
Maybe sparks come out of it or something. Hey, that'd be a cool lighting effect.
But the thing is like some great musician once said, there are no such thing as bad notes.
If you play fast enough.
Hey,
I'll tell you
have you guys ever had anybody do anything to your pedals like that?
Oh,
yeah.
There's always a first.
Listen, man, no. When I was out on the Kenny Rogers tour, it was all bad. They would do anything. Our bass players used to run. We were playing in front of 20,000 people. Our bass player would run out there. He had his bass set out on the chord, grab his bass, and people are screaming. They hit his bass. They pulled all the knobs off my amp once, turned them to all different things, and then set them back on and set everything to 0. And so when I got up there, I've had everything. You have to get up. But here's what happens: is you got to put a stop to that at some point, because after the Oak Ridge Boys threw a whole bag of crickets into our bus, I went, listen, we're calling a truce here, because I don't know why they got hacked off, because I put all that crawfish up underneath the dashboard of their bus. It says, how did Dougie come to be Judy? He's not Judy that I know.
No, he's Hey Dougie.
He's Hey Dougie. Come to be. There's nothing about Judy, and I think how he was Doug, and one of our prior piano players started calling him Dougie, and I picked up on it, and I started calling him Dougie, and now everybody calls him Dougie.
Now he has his own dugout.
Now he's got his own dugout working on there. He's got his own shirt that says Hey Dougie. So I'm waiting for the T-shirt though, Roger, that says visit the Orange Blossom Opry. You'll be glad you did. I've been working on that, giving them that. They haven't been feeding on it much. A few minutes left here. If there's any questions at the Orange Blossom Opry, we're still banging around here.
I think we got a couple more shows we hadn't touched on. We got that Seeger show.
That's this weekend, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's sold out yet.
Seeger show. Yep. If you're a Seeger fan, Bob Seeger, those guys are real good, and they're also from Canada, I think.
Yeah, 2 shows this Saturday. There's a few seats available for the early show, and there's very limited seats for the night show.
Okay,
so good.
But there are a few available for both shows.
Sunday,
Forever Seeger? Is that
yes, Forever Seeger.
Yeah, those guys were great. They were here last year.
And all the Buckinghams, we don't know where they're at.
We don't know where they're at, but there's
Sunday.
2 shows Sunday also.
Yeah.
2 shows on Sunday. Kind of a drag.
And BOGO for Allie tomorrow night. Buy one, get one.
Every Wednesday's BOGO, folks. That means buy one, get one.
All right, my album up here is from Stacy, and I last week, literally, I mean, when we had those 2 guys, I didn't think it could get any better than that. But I've really got a good feel of this week with Allie. And is it the Night Hawks or Night Birds? Who's coming with her?
The Nighthawks.
The Nighthawks are
Nighthawks,
coming.
they're veterans too.
Yeah,
This
they're
is
awesome.
one. This is one we're going to be talking about.
Yeah,
guarantee
Stacy.
you.
I thought Stacy was great. He was
Yeah.
a nice fellow. That kid that played the double neck hammer
Mark
type guitar stuff.
Crowes, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get him in here again sometime.
Mark Cruz,
for
yeah.
something, 'cause
I've never
he's-
seen anything like that.
He's pretty awesome. Why do people call me? They know that I'm here on the air. I love you, Mitchell, but I can't pick up the phone right now. So there's that. I was going to say something else, I guess, but I can't remember what it was. We're about out of words, and I'm about out of.
Charlene says that we need to hook my pedals up to your fog machines.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, listen, man. You don't that prank story. You don't want to go down that road because what happens is then you just start out pranking things. So there's a guy who now in the guitar world is famous, and you know who he is. His name's Tom Murphy, and Tom Murphy. So the Sawyer Brown story is I played so many guitars on the record. Let me put another track. Let me put another track. So I'd have 4 or 5 guitars on all these songs layered in there. So we had to hire an extra guitar player. The first guy we hired, his name was Michael Thomas. And Michael Thomas left us to go with Reba McEntire. And 2 months later, when he was out there, he was a guy that we lost in the plane crash. Well, when he left, we hired this guy named Tom Murphy. And Murphy was a prankster, man, a prankster dude. And he and I pranked. So one time, he'd messed with my gear, done everything. And so I took that sports, what's that, Hot and Icy it's called, and I'd put a bunch of it right down in his cowboy boots, down in the bottom. And this is in midsummer, we're playing fairs. So I'm back there, and there's another guy there now, who the guitar player that's there yet, I hired him. He's still there. But anyway, Murphy's back there playing. All of a sudden, you see him moving around in his feet like that, and all of a sudden, and then right in the middle of the show, he's just cussing, and he sits down, quits playing, and takes his boots off, because that stuff will go through your socks and at the bottom of your feet. Not a pleasant thing. Tom Murphy said, I got a job at Gibson. He went to work at Gibson, and while he was working at Gibson, he came up with this idea to make an antique-looking guitar, an old guitar, and took it to the Gibson people. And Tom Murphy's extremely rich now and known quite well in the Gibson guitar world. If you see guitars that say Murphy Lab and all that stuff, he's a nice fella. And he was a pretty good ball player too, because we back then you had to play ball if you played in our band. We're heading for the house, everybody. A lot of things going on. Be sure you put your app on, your Orange Blossom Opry app on your phone. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it sure sounds cool when I do. Dave, give him the spiel, Davey.
Download the new Orange Blossom Opry app at all your favorite app locations. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Spotify, and our Instagram.
All right.
Page.
And so let's do can we do a 2 o'clock pizza party at my house today?
Sure.
Yeah, because I got a new headlight for my motorcycle, and Davey and Mike and Kurt are going to be my mechanics. I buy pizza, they show up and fix my motorcycle. That's how I roll. God bless you all, everybody. We'll see you next time right here at the Orange Blossom Social.